Hello, it's good to see you. Today we are going to be taking a look at some different food items and we're going to read the instructions for preparing the different types of food that we have here so we can get a thorough understanding of the instructions so we'll know how to prepare them. We have a variety of things here. These are convenience foods. These are just some of them are non-perishable. Some of them are individually wrapped or they're in cans. And we're going to be taking a look at each item and then we're going to read the instructions. The first item I have is very crinkly, so I thought I would go ahead and do that first. I have it in my lap. These are Columbia egg noodles. They are enriched, and these are wide egg noodles here. It is made of 5.5% egg solids. Now you will see that they're nice and dried here. Of course, you're going to have to boil these noodles before you eat them. Although when I was a kid, I used to like to take one and chew on it. While my mom was making noodles, I would take one and chew on it. But it comes in this plastic bag here. It's very nice. This is a 12-ounce package of Columbia egg noodles. They have been in business since 1848, and I got these at Dollar Tree. Now, let's take a look at these instructions back here. Now, this is very important, okay? We have a whole paragraph. And it tells us all about the general cooking directions. Did you know they have general cooking directions? Okay. Now, listen. You're going to cook 12 ounces of this package in 4 quarts of rapidly boiling water. 4 quarts. Rapidly boiling water. Now 12 ounces, that's going to be the entire bag. So say you're only making half the bag, 6 ounces, you're only going to need 2 quarts of rapidly boiling water. You can also salt it if desired. You do not have to salt it, but according to the general cooking directions, you can salt it if you want to. Okay, you're going to do this. Now, all this is going to take place in an uncovered pot, and you're going to boil them in the uncovered pot, 4 quarts of rapidly boiling water, for 8 to 10 minutes, or until the desired tenderness is reached. If you like them a little more al dente, you won't boil them as long. Now, after you boil them to the consistency that you like, you're going to drain them, okay? You're going to put them in a little colander thingy, and you're going to drain the water out, okay? Just take the noodles. You don't keep the water. Now, noodles, which will be cooked again in soups or in casseroles, should not be boiled more than 8 minutes. Serve nutritious Columbia egg noodles to accompany your favorite stew or goulash. Sprinkle buttered egg noodles with chopped chives, sauteed bread cubes, or poppy seeds to make a different and delicious side dish. Whole noodle or wide noodles add zest to your favorite soups. So it's good to know these are remarkably versatile noodles. You can use these in all kinds of things. I've used them in casseroles before. If you substitute these for the little elbow macaroni, you make a macaroni cheese casserole. It's not bad. I think I prefer the elbow macaroni though. So anyway, yeah. So if you're gonna cook the whole bag, the entire thing, you need 4 quarts of rapidly boiling water. You're going to boil them for 8 to 10 minutes or until you reach the desired tenderness, whatever that is for you. It's the kind of thing that you have to kind of play around with to see what you like. So this is the first thing here, and the directions are on here upside down. So now the front is upside down. But these are enriched egg noodles from Colombia, the brand, not the country. So anyway, let's look at another thing. Now, this is a very interesting one here. Here I have Vigo yellow rice. This is saffron rice. Comes in this package. It's actually quite full. It's a lot of rice in here. This is a 9-ounce package of saffron yellow rice from Vigo. Now you turn it over to the back. We have instructions on the back. And it's upside down again. Right now, I'm going to give you the stovetop instructions. Okay, listen very carefully to this. In a large saucepan with a tight fitting lid, you're going to bring 2 1/4 cups of water to a boil. It's going to be 18 ounces of water. Alright, now, after you do that, you're going to take 2 tablespoons of olive oil or butter. Now this is optional. And then 1 package of Vigo yellow rice. You're going to add that to the water, stirring while boiling over 1 minute. Now, at this point, you're going to cover the saucepan tightly. You're going to reduce the heat to a simmer and cook it another 20 to 25 minutes. And then you serve it. So you're looking at a bit of an investment of time. You're going to bring 2 1/4 cups of water to a boil, and then you add in this package of rice, this saffron yellow rice. And if you want to, you add in 2 tablespoons of olive oil or butter to the water. And after you do that, if you want to do that, then you're going to take this whole package and you're going to add it to the boiling water, and you stir it while it boils for a minute. Now, then you reduce the heat to a simmer, and you cover that saucepan tightly, put your lid on there. You reduce the heat, and you're going to let it cook for another 20 to 25 minutes. And that's all you have to do to get this beautiful yellow rice, this saffron rice. And again, this is from Vigo, and it's a beautiful package. I think it's very pretty. So it's very simple. It's basically like making any other rice. This is authentic. It is the authentic Spanish recipe for this type of rice. So that's the saffron rice. Let's see what else we have. Now here's one you might not think of. Pop-Tarts. This is a lovely item. Look at how pretty they are. Alright, we actually have instructions to make Pop-Tarts. Now, a lot of times people will just take the package out of the box and just eat it straight out of the box. That's what my kids do. They don't bother to toast it. But we do have instructions. Okay, we have 2. Oh, we actually have 3 types of ways to prepare your Pop-Tarts. The first way is the toaster, which you may be familiar with. The second way is the microwave. And the third, I've never heard of this, the freezer. I've never thought of putting a Pop-Tart in the freezer. We're going to read about that. Now listen carefully. For the toaster, okay. Number 1, this is step number 1. You want to put the toast, you want to toast it on the lowest setting. You're going to pick the lowest possible setting for that toaster before you put the Pop-Tart in there. And you put the the toaster. Those are the toaster instructions. Just 2 steps. Okay. And then, see, we have these 3 sections. There's this section, the microwave, and the freezer. Alright, now the microwave, we have 3 steps. Step number 1. We're going to put your Pop-Tart on a microwave safe plate. You have to take it out of the package. And then you put it onto a microwave safe plate. Step number 2. You're going to heat it only 3 seconds at a time until warm enough. It literally says until warm enough. So you're only going to do it in 3-second increments. You're going to check every 3 seconds to see. I would have said at least 5, but this says 3 seconds to make sure you don't overheat it. You don't go too far with it. We don't want to get crazy with our Pop-Tart. And again, just like the toaster, step number 3, let cool before eating. So you always want to let it cool off because it can really burn your tongue. So those are the microwave steps. And now we're going to talk about the freezer. This is something I'm not familiar with. I've never heard of putting a Pop-Tart in the freezer. It's actually a pretty cool idea. Let's see what we do. Step number 1, put pouch in freezer. So I guess we're going to eat both of them. You just take the pouch, which has 2 Pop-Tarts in it. You're going to take the pouch and put it in the freezer. Step number 2, wait 20 minutes. And if you were me, you'd probably forget about it within 20 minutes and go off and do something else. And then find it several days later when you were in there looking for something else and go, oh yeah. Step number 3, after 20 minutes, enjoy that frosty tart. It sounds kind of dirty. It literally says, enjoy that frosty tart. There's a joke in there, but I'm going to leave it alone. Enjoy that frosty tart. I want that on my tombstone. Enjoy that frosty tart. And up here they give you a helpful hint. For the first 2, I would say it doesn't really apply to the third. Waiting for your mouth to cool is greater than waiting for your tart to cool. That's good advice. That's probably better than any advice I've ever given you. Don't be a hero. Let that Pop-Tart cool off, okay? Shh. S'mores Pop-Tarts. They're beautiful. I never said this was going to be healthy food. Oh, it gets worse. Next, we have, this is from Aldi. This is a cute little can of Texas Tailgate chili sauce. I love the name Texas Tailgate. This cute little can is from Aldi, I think. I may actually be wrong about that. I believe I bought this at Aldi, but I could be wrong. Now, this chili sauce is for burgers and dogs. Not like pets, but hot dogs. Don't give this to your dog. If nothing else, it'll give it bad gas. This is a 10-ounce can of chili sauce. Now, we do have 2 sets of heating instructions back here. Alright. It does not have a pop top, which is kind of disappointing. Now, first we have the microwave instructions. You have to listen to this very carefully. You're going to empty the contents of this can into a microwave-safe container. Now, you're going to cover it, and cannot stress the importance of this enough. You definitely want to cover the container because when this stuff gets hot, sometimes it bubbles and it pops, and it will just leave splatters inside your microwave. It's awful. I did that once. I put some in the microwave to heat it and forgot to cover it, and it got a little too warm, and it kind of like a big bubble formed, and it just exploded. There was chili peppering the inside of my microwave. So you are going to cover your container. You're going to cook it on high in the microwave for are the stovetop instructions. These are if you're heating them on a burner on the stove. You're going to pour the contents of this cute little can into a saucepan and heat to simmer over medium heat, and just stir it occasionally to help distribute the heat and to keep it from burning on the bottom of your pan, your little saucepan. And we have an additional bit of instruction here beneath the heating instructions. You want to refrigerate any unused portion in a separate container. So don't leave it in here. You're going to want to put it in a separate container and keep it in the refrigerator. Okay. Texas tailgate. I guess it's alright. Now, we have another can. This one's cute too. I think everybody knows this stuff. Campbell's chicken noodle soup. That's one of my kids' favorites when they can't think of anything they want to eat, which happens about once a week. They'll be hungry and not know what they want, so they'll make a can of soup. Now we have instructions on here somewhere. Okay, we have two sets again, microwave and stovetop. For the microwave, now they do remind you in the beginning that microwave ovens vary as far as the power goes. You know, some of them are stronger. The time given is approximate. You kind of have to play around with your microwave. I mean, not literally. You're not going to, play kickball with it or anything. You want to mess around with it and see how long you need to heat things in it. Okay. Now, if you're heating this in a microwave, you're going to heat it covered, again, like the jelly, in microwavable serving bowl. You're going to heat it on high for 2.5 to 3 minutes or until hot. Careful. Leave in microwave for 1 minute after it finishes cooking and then stir it. It does not say that you should stir it before it cools off. It says heat it for 2.5 to 3 minutes on high. And then give it a minute to cool and then stir it. In my microwave, I found that a minute 45 seconds is about perfect. Really, any more than that is too hot. But before you do that, you're going to take the can of soup and pour it in there, and then you're going to fill the can back up with water and add that to it, and then stir it before you put it in there. Or, now how we're making this, I don't know if you've ever tried it with their chicken noodle soup and their tomato soup. Instead of water, I use milk. I will do a can of milk, and I find it makes it taste better. I like it so much better than the water. It really makes a difference. To me, it tastes a lot better with milk than water, but that's my opinion. Now, if you do want to heat this on the stovetop, the instructions say that you can do that. Now, you're going to take the can of soup and then the 1 can of water, add it to a pot, and then you put it on the burner. And it only says heat, stirring occasionally. So I'd say maybe medium heat. So you're going to put in the 1 can and the 1 can of water or milk. I like milk. And then you're just going to stir it occasionally until it is heated up to your liking, like just however warm you want it to be. I like it to be nice and hot, but not so hot that it burns my tongue. So again, that is Campbell's chicken noodle soup. Those are the instructions to make the soup. And here's a little crinkly thing. Now this is palmini. It is linguine made with hearts of palm. Palmini is a pasta substitute made out of a natural plant known as hearts of palm. When this plant is cut and cooked in the proper way, its resemblance to regular pasta is remarkable. Now, palmini, this item, is made from cultivated hearts of palm and harvested in an environmentally sustainable way. So how do we make this linguine? Well, let's see. We have basic directions, and they're so basic it's just pictures. It's like the IKEA of food. Now, you're just going to drain the palmini, which is in here, and you want to rinse this with plenty of water. Trust me, rinse it with lots of water. Now, optional, it looks like you can add some milk to it or whatever you want to add to it. I've never done that. And then you're going to put it in a pot and add your choice of sauce. So you're going to put your sauce on top of the palmini inside the pot after you drain it and after you rinse it very thoroughly. You don't have to rinse it in hot water or anything. It doesn't really matter the temperature of the water. You just want to make sure that you rinse it very well. Now, in a medium saucepan, you're going to take a spoon and you're going to mix that sauce into the pasta here, into the palmini. You're going to mix it in and heat it in the saucepan or in the pot. And the final step is just to enjoy it. You really want to eat it right away while it's warm. It's not good when it gets cold. And we have an optional tip here. For a milder flavor, you can soak your noodles in your choice of milk or a milk alternative product for 15 to 30 minutes, and then you just rinse it again. And here's a tip. For a softer texture, add drained palmini to boiling water for 5 to 10 minutes or until the desired texture is achieved. This is made in Ecuador, and this contains just water, salt, sliced hearts of palm, and citric acid. So that's how to make palmini linguine. And it only has 4 grams of net carbs, so if you're low carb, it's pretty good for that. This is not good for low carb. Look at this. The next item is very interesting. This is from Aldi. It's cheese club. It's generic Velveeta. I think it tastes exactly the same, and it's only 99 cents. Shells and cheese. Now, how do we make this stuff? That is a good question. We do not have microwave instructions. We just have this little section right here for making it on the stovetop. That's the only way I ever make it. I don't think I'd want to try to do this in the microwave. Okay, we have 4 steps to make the shells and cheese. First of all, we're going to make the entire package. You're going to want to boil 8 cups of water in a pot. Now, you're going to get those 8 cups of water boiling, and after it starts boiling, you pour in the shells. Now, you want to boil it rapidly, stirring the shells occasionally. Now, you want to boil them for 8 to 10 minutes or until the desired tenderness is achieved. Step number 2, you're going to drain the shells. You're going to get all the water out of them. You want to drain them completely. And then you put them into whatever serving dish you may want to serve them in. At this point, we come to step number 3. And that is where you're going to add the cheddar cheese sauce to the shells and mix it in. And since the shells are nice and hot, it kind of makes the cheese melty, and it just mixes in really well. And then step 4 is that you mix well until it is smooth and creamy. And then when you're done, it looks like this. It's actually really good. My kids don't really like macaroni and cheese that much. I only make it occasionally because they don't really like it. And I can't eat it, so, but I keep it around in case I need something quick to make. Now let's see. Oh, here's something. Here's a nice item right here. It's a big can and it has a pop top. So you don't even need a can opener. You can just pop it like that. This is chicken and dumplings in a can. It has 11 grams of protein per serving. It's made with white chicken meat. Now you may be asking yourself, well, how do you make this? I'm going to tell you. Okay, we have 2 sets of instructions to heat the chicken and dumplings. It's all cooked, so you don't need to cook anything. You're just going to heat it. For the stovetop, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to empty the chicken and dumplings into a saucepan. You're going to pop the top and dump it in a saucepan. And then you're going to heat them to simmering over a medium heat. And you only have to stir it occasionally, but you want to keep it on medium heat because it can actually scorch in the pan, so you want to be really careful not to do that. Okay, and then microwave instructions. Alright, so if you want to make these in the microwave, you certainly can. You want to empty the chicken and dumplings here into a microwave safe bowl, and then you cover it. And usually I will just put like maybe a paper towel over the top, or it's usually just a paper towel. You want to cover it and then heat it on high, which is 100% power, for 3 minutes or until hot. And remember, all microwaves have different strengths, so you may need to heat it a little more or less depending on your microwave. And you want to stop at the 2-minute mark while you're heating these. You stop at the 2-minute mark to stir them up, and then you continue to heat for another minute or so. And then you want to stir it before serving. That is the last step for heating them in the microwave. Let's see here. There are about 2.5 servings in this can. My older son loves these. Sometimes when he comes home from school, he'll have like a whole can of this. Yeah, he ate a lot of it for a while now. I think he's kind of tired of it. But this is Dinty Moore chicken and dumplings, and now you know how to make it. Oh, this one's really bad. You have now seen it all. This is ramen on steroids. This is a super meal chicken flavor. Now this is microwavable. This contains everything you need to make a chicken flavored super meal. I am not even kidding. Wow. And according to this, in tiny print up here, it says, with improved flavor and premium straight noodles. Now to me, these noodles need to be, ramen noodle shaped, like zigzag curly, not straight. That's weird. But how do we make this stuff? Well, let me see. I have no idea. How do you make this? Let's see if we can find the instructions on here somewhere. Oh, they're right here. The print is absolutely tiny. I'm really glad I have my glasses on. Somebody asked me if these were a prop. No, these are my actual glasses. Look how tiny that print is. It looks like just little squiggles. Okay, so we're going to read the microwave instructions. We do not have any stovetop instructions, so I guess you have to make this in the microwave. There are 4 steps to make the Nissan super meal. Okay, step number 1. There's a lid up here. You're going to remove the lid. There's a tab right here. You're going to remove this whole thing. And then you want to empty the soup and vegetable packets onto the noodles that are inside this thing. So I guess there are vegetable and soup packets in here. Now that's all step number 1. Step number 2, you're going to add You don't want to try to reuse it. It's just made out of paper anyway. So you're not going to reuse the bowl. But you just microwave it for 4 minutes, 30 seconds after you put the vegetable and soup packets onto the noodles, and add room temperature water to a fill line that you will see on the inside. You cook it uncovered in the microwave on high. You're going to cook it on high for 4.5 minutes, and then you let it stand for 2 minutes. And then you can just stir and enjoy your super meal. Nice little play on words there. So that's the super meal. I bet it just tastes like sadness. I've never actually had one of these. Okay. That's the first one of those I've ever bought. Okay. How about this, since it's close to Thanksgiving? We're getting close to Thanksgiving. And a lot of people will get stuffing mix around Thanksgiving. I make this really good turkey dressing. It's a dressing my mom used to make when I was growing up. You don't put it in the turkey. You use leftover turkey and Pepperidge Farm dressing mix to make it. It's really good. And you add celery to it and chicken broth. I should show you how to make it. It's really easy, but it's really good. But so, okay, now this is Chef Carlin stuffing mix for turkey, and it contains real turkey broth. This is a delicious blend of stuffing and seasoning. Doesn't it look beautiful? See? It's pretty. How do we make it? We have 3 ways to make it. We can make it on top of the stove, or in the bird preparation, or microwave it. So you can do it any way you want. If you're going to make it on top of the stove, you can take a medium saucepan, and then you heat 1.5 cups of water and 1/4 cup of butter or margarine to a bowl. So you have 1.5 cups of water and 1/4 cup of butter or margarine. You're going to bring that to a bowl, and you want to make sure that you melt the butter or margarine completely. You don't want to have any left, in there. And the step number 2, you stir in the contents of the stuffing mix pouch that is contained inside this box. And then step number 3, you remove it from the heat, and then you cover it and let it stand for 5 minutes. And then you just fluff it with a fork and serve it. It's very easy. Okay, now if you're using this to stuff the turkey, we have some different steps. Step number 1, you're going to prepare the stuffing by heating 1.5 cups of hot water and 1/2 stick of butter or margarine. Stir in the contents of the stuffing mix pouch. Now it says here, do not stuff the bird until ready to roast. So do not do this ahead of time. Do this right before it's ready to roast. Step number 2, rinse poultry with cold water, and you pat dry and salt lightly. Step number 3, stuff cavities with prepared stuffing. Use approximately 3/4 of a cup per pound of bird. A 6-ounce pouch will stuff up to an 8-pound bird. And then microwave directions. This is only 3 steps. Okay. Step number 1, you can take a 1.5 quart microwave safe bowl, and you mix the contents of the stuffing mix pouch with 1.5 cups of hot water and 1/4 cup of butter or margarine cut into pieces. Step number 2, you're going to cover it. The microwave safe bowl, you cover it, and then microwave it on high for 5 to 6 minutes. And then step number 3, you just flip it with a fork and serve it. So that's probably the fastest way. So here it says this box makes 6 half-cup servings, and it says that you should refrigerate any leftover stuffing. So that's the Chef Carlin stuffing mix. It looks very delicious. And what about this? This is also from Chef Carlin. New Orleans style jambalaya mix. Does it look tasty? Look at that. Hearty and filling. Perfect. So how do we make this? We have two types of directions on the back. If you look back here, you will see that we have cooking directions for the stovetop and the microwave. See? And the stovetop has 4 steps. Step number 1, in a 2.5 quart saucepan, you're going to combine 2.5 cups of water and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil. That's optional. You don't have to do that. And you heat it until it starts boiling. Next, you're going to add the jambalaya mix and meat, which is optional, and return it to a bowl. Number 3, reduce the heat, stir, cover, and simmer about 25 minutes or until the rice is tender. And then you stir it occasionally to keep it from sticking. You don't want it to stick. Step number 4, you're going to allow the mixture to stand about 5 minutes before you serve it. It's going to let it cool down a little bit, let the flavors kind of get married, like they kind of blend a little bit. The microwave directions are below here, and we only have 3 steps for the microwave. Step number 1, in a 2.5 quart microwavable bowl or casserole, you're going to combine 2.5 cups of hot water and 2 tablespoons of vegetable oil, and that's optional. You don't have to do that. And then 1 pound of meat, which is also optional, and the jambalaya mix. So you're just going to take that microwave safe bowl and you're going to add all that to the bowl. Step number 2, you're going to cover it and cook it on high for about 25 minutes. Wow. So you're going to cover it and cook it on high for 25 minutes, stirring occasionally. I would get nervous putting anything in the microwave that long. I think I'd rather do it on the stovetop. But then step number 3, after you cook it for 25 minutes on high, you are going to remove it from the microwave and then you stir it and let the mixture stand covered for about 5 minutes before serving. So that is how you're going to make the New Orleans style jambalaya mix. I think it looks good just like it is. I don't know if I would add anything to it. I just eat it like that. Okay. And then suddenly, pasta salad. Suddenly salad, it snuck up on you. It's like a siren. This looks delicious. Now this is ranch and bacon flavor with imitation bacon bits, because nothing ruins food like real bacon. Gotta have that imitation. How do we make this? Well, you're going to need 1/3 cup of mayonnaise that you're going to need to add to this. And for the stovetop, this only gives us stovetop instructions. Step number 1, you're going to fill a 2-quart saucepan half full of water, and you want to heat it until it starts to boil. And then you're going to add the pasta, gently boil it uncovered for 11 minutes, stirring occasionally. For more tender pasta, you can boil it for 1 to 2 minutes longer. After you do that, step number 2, or while that's going on, while the pasta is cooking, you're going to stir together the seasoning and mayonnaise in a medium bowl and set it aside. Step number 3, you're going to drain the pasta. Rinse it with cold water and drain well. Stir pasta into seasoning mixture. Serve immediately or refrigerate. If desired, you can stir in 2 or 3 teaspoons of milk to moisten the refrigerated salad. And then, of course, you always want to refrigerate the leftovers. That is how you make suddenly pasta salad, ranch and bacon, with real imitation bacon bits. It's nice. And then we have a really nice can here of Chef Boyardee mini ravioli. So good. Look at the little raviolis. They're like baby raviolis. And they're cut open. They've been disemboweled. Beef ravioli in tomato and meat sauce. How do we make this? We have two different types of instructions. You can do it in the microwave or on the stovetop. It's totally up to you how you do it. And if you want to make it in the microwave, you're going to open the can, which again has a pop top, so that's very handy. You pour the pasta into a microwave-safe bowl. And again, it's very important that you cover the bowl, but a paper towel or a piece of wax paper or something over it, because it will pop. It gets everywhere. Now you're going to microwave it on high for 1.5 minutes or until hot, and then you want to make sure you stir it before you serve it. And you have to handle it very carefully because the bowl will be hot. It will burn your fingers. If you want to make it on the stovetop, all you have to do is empty the can. You pour the pasta into a saucepan, and then you heat the contents over a medium heat with medium heat and stir it occasionally until it is heated to your liking, however warm you want it to be. And you again have to remember to handle it very carefully because it is going to be hot. So that is Chef Boyardee, and it tastes just like you remember it as a kid. And our last item today, Progresso Soup. Rich and hearty. Look at this big can. This also has the pop top. Very handy. So you don't have to go digging for the can opener, which is nice. Now this particular type of soup is tomato Florentine with Italian sausage. It looks really nice. This is an 18.5-ounce can of rich and hearty Progresso soup. Very nice. Now the can also tells us that it has no artificial flavors, no colors, and no colors from artificial sources. So there's no sorcery here, no wizardry. It is ready to serve. You do not have to add water to this soup. So it's different from the condensed soup. Now the stovetop instructions are literally just 3 words. Heat in saucepan. You want to take it out of the can first. So you're going to pop the top, take it, pop the top, pour it into your saucepan, put it on medium heat, stir it occasionally to heat it evenly and to keep it from burning. Heat it to the desired temperature. And there you go. Now for the microwave, we have these instructions. You want to heat this in a covered microwavable bowl on high from 2 to 4 minutes. I'd probably start with like 1.5 minutes and stir it and taste it. And then just go in 30-second increments after that. And it says be careful. Leave in the microwave for 1 minute after heating and then stir it. And then, of course, if you have any leftovers, you want to refrigerate the leftovers. You don't want to leave them out because it will not be good forever. You're going to have to put it in the refrigerator to keep. So just put it in a sealable container and keep it in the refrigerator if you have any leftover. It really is pretty yummy looking. And that is all we have to look at today. I really hope that you enjoyed seeing these items and learning how to prepare them and reading the directions, all the instructions on the items. I enjoyed looking at them with you. I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.